I'm on to the almost keto croissants. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, go back and have a look at that. And what I'm going to do now is cut the dough in half and put half of it back in the fridge. There you go, this is what it looks like. I'm going to put half of it back in the fridge because you don't want it to get too warm when you're working it. So this recipe is for 12 croissants. And now I have to admit to having made a boo-boo. In my first video I grabbed the wrong white powder out of the cupboard and I have been merrily, liberally spreading arrowroot on my pastry rather than coconut flour, and I have no clue what difference it's going to make to the baking. So this is all a bit of an experiment. Let's see what happens. So I've got my half out, and now what I'm going to do is roll it out into a nice big rectangle. I'm going to come round here. So it needs to be about 3 millimeters thick. So is that, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch? Right, just double checking. 3 millimeters thick. Obviously, arrowroot's better at not letting it stick. Ha ha ha. Right. You can see you have to be strong to work it. I think I want it a little bit. Wider.
Oh, hello, you.
Right. Let's take it up this way. The little bits that I'm going to trim off make really good little snack bits. Right, now my problem here is I don't want to use a sharp knife on this nice thing that I'm on because I've sliced holes in too many things over time. So I'm going to just slip my other mat underneath. Okay, and I need to divide this into 3. So let's just have a little look. Where am I? That says 30. That just about is on 8. So we've got 22. Divided by 3. Each one's got to be roughly 7 centimetres along. Okay. So let me just take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's take it about there. And cut that across there. Don't think that's big enough. Oh well, I'm going to get some big ones and some small ones. See, I'm not very good at this accuracy thing. Right, let's take that across there, and I'm going to take that across there. So that's a little offcut for me. Right, now I'm just going to roll this bit out a little bit more. a little bit longer if I can. There we go, that's a bit better. We're going to then cut it from opposite corner to opposite corner. So you end up with a nice little triangle. There you go. And then I'm just going to stretch this out a little more. And checking my instructions, roll from the thickest end to the smaller end. So I'm going to roll this up now. And there we have a neat little croissant. What I'm going to do with these now is, once they're all rolled, I've got my oven, which, just to show you something else I've made today, this is what I usually use arrowroot for. Doing a roast beef dinner with Yorkshire puddings, and these are my arrowroot Yorkshires. They've just cooked in the oven, so I'm now letting it cool down to 50 degrees, and then I'm going to prove these croissants in the oven at 50 degrees for a couple of hours, and they should, she said, hopefully, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. Place the rolled croissants on 2 parchment baked lining sheets, space them evenly apart and brush with heavy cream or double cream. Lightly cover the croissants with cling film and leave them somewhere warm for 2 hours. They will grow about 1.5 times in size. So I'm going to end up with, and if you want them to be croissant shaped, just give them a little twist. So these are all going to be lined up on my tray to go in the oven. And I shall do a part 3 video later to let you see how they end up. See you again soon.